Welcome back to the neighborhood, boys and girls. Our next guest is Chris Patterson from Patterson Solutions. Chris, welcome to the neighborhood.
Thank you.
Awesome. We do a bunch of different retail stores, a bunch of different realtors and stuff. Chris will be our first solar consultant on Mr. Mortgage's neighborhood. So we want to talk a little bit about, before we get into your business stuff, talk about your journey into getting into this industry. Because most people, when they wind up here, don't plan on getting here. So talk a little bit about how you got here and wound up in this industry.
Yeah, so it was actually years ago. I was working just a regular job, bartending. I worked for a moving company for 3 years, and I just needed that break, you know, like you just need that break. And a buddy of mine who I shoot darts with, he was like, "Oh, I work for a solar company," and he told me how much money he was making in 1 month, and I'm like, "Let me give it a shot.
Solar it is.
Let me give it a shot."
Yeah.
So I went to the company and. I had a knack for it, and it just came second nature. And I've always been kind of like a people person to begin with, but it was just really, I caught on so quick, and I was like, wow, I really like this. You know, I could save people money. I don't have to ask them for much. And, I ended up the second month being, breaking the sales record for 1 month. I think it was 24, 26, and I had 36.
Okay.
And then it just kind of took off from there. So, after that, I had a falling out with that company. And then I started my own company and said, you know what, let me see where this goes. And I did very well for myself. And I try to set myself, in a very respectful way, set myself apart from other companies by simply educating and not taking the salesy approach. You know?
Right.
So that's kind of how I got into solar.
Cool. Now, have you always been the entrepreneurial type? Did you always kind of know you would go into business for yourself, or was this just something that you kind of fell into and said, all right, cool, let's go that way?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't necessarily on the radar to own a business.
Right.
I mean, everybody obviously wants to work for themselves and own a business, but no, I mean, I was just working just regular jobs, and then kind of came out of nowhere. I know I had it in me, but it just, kind of came out of nowhere. Cool. So I was like, let me see where this goes.
Awesome. Now, solar kind of gets a bad rap in certain forms. I know I have a friend of mine who does solar, and I know he's one of the honest guys, but then we deal with it all the time where we're getting agreements from companies that weren't totally honest. How do you overcome that objection from those people who may have heard some negative rumors about solar kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, so that is an extremely big part of the solar industry. It's something so beneficial and good, but there's two things in the world that people, have trouble with is honesty and greed.
Yeah, sure.
So when you're not honest and then there's greed behind it, it doesn't mix for a good formula. Sure. So what I tried to do is take an educational approach, and I don't like to beat around the bush. I don't like to, this is the price, but maybe I could do that. No, I don't. Right. I put my best foot forward.
Let me call my manager and see if I can get you a deal, you know?
No, I mean, you're just another, you have to set yourself apart respectfully. Right. I never badmouth any companies, but I respectfully set myself apart. I gain pretty good rapport with people very easily, which is, I guess the gift of gab. And, I just take an educational approach. I'm honest, and I go through the agreement with them. I say, listen, if you want me to sit here and go through the agreement word for word with you, I will.
Right.
And usually by that time, we've gained, some trust there, and I send them a copy, and if you ever need anything, and also, it's also communication as well. After the fact that you sign that person up, and after that, if there's no communication or they call you and you're not getting back to them,
right,
it doesn't make you look good.
Sure.
So I have people calling me from 2-3 years ago, and I still answer their questions. I still get somebody over there and help them out.
Sure.
So I think that's what it's about too.
Yeah. It also helps you to get referral business because that's where it's always at.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you treat them really well, they're going to tell at least 3 people who you are and what you do, and you keep it going. So in that respect, how do you normally come across customers? Do you do advertising? Do you do social media campaigns? Do you have any, like people have booths in Home Depot or something like that? How do you normally get in front of customers?
Yeah, I mean, I have found that the best way is organically, word of mouth, because you get a certain kind of respect when, say, for instance, yourself, like, hey, I know a guy and he did a great job on my with the solar project on my house, and the company was great, the installation was great. That kind of puts them at ease.
Sure.
So then when they come to me, it's like, hey, this Chris is a good guy, and your word to them means a lot, because obviously it's either your friend or your family. So it makes it pretty easy for me to do my job. I try to do, some networking. Networking's also a really good way too. Right. I post stuff on Facebook. I have a Facebook business page, actually,
Gotcha.
Patterson Solutions. So that definitely helps out. I ask people to leave reviews at the end of the year. I do a raffle. I raffle off a $500 gift card. So, just ways like that, but organically mostly is the best way for me.
Now, Are you doing like TikTok, or are you doing Instagram or anything like that? Or are you just Facebook and...
Yeah,
that's kind of it.
I mean, TikTok is it's not for me per se,
right.
But I'm not against it. It's just I just haven't ventured off into the TikTok world yet because I don't want to drown in it.
Me neither. I joke around about it all the time. I actually like it as something to do, but I still haven't really mastered how to turn it into leads.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I get how you do content on there, but I haven't really figured. I know Facebook is easy. Not easy, but you can tell how to work a business plan.
It's more user friendly, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. TikTok, I'm like, dude, this would be great. It would be awesome if that dude from Austin, Texas, loves my video, but how's he gonna get a mortgage from it? You know
right.
what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I haven't really figured that out yet. I never really know, because I'm 50, so. Normally, like, my 16-year-old daughter, I do have her working on my TikTok with me and stuff like that. But I never really talk, because I know you're a little younger than me. So I'm like, you might be in the TikTok range or the Snapchat range. But social media is the greatest form of advertising. Like, if you could go back in time 30 years behind and tell people that they could talk to 100,000 people for free, they'd be like, get out of here. There's no way that would happen.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Social media allows us to contact people.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's do a little bit of future stuff. We're going to go 2 years in the future, October, November of 2024. Where is Chris Patterson and Patterson Solutions going to be 2 years from now?
So we actually want to expand. Right now we're just strictly in New Jersey. We do some Pennsylvania. But we want to expand down to Florida. Florida's a pretty good market.
Sure.
Obviously, there's very good sun down there. A little bit different with the electric rates and the companies and how they do things, but we definitely want to try to expand to Florida, Tampa, Orlando area. A guy that I work with in the company he's expanded down there, so we're looking to probably partner up with them in the future. But just to grow and expand the company is where I want the business to be in 2 years.
Okay. Do you have any employees now?
Yeah, so I have 4 employees right now.
Okay.
I mean, they kind of just get it's kind of more of a side thing for them. I don't have anybody that's, it's kind of hard to get people because it's all commission, right?
Sure.
So a lot of people, if they're not getting a salary, it's kind of hard to bring somebody on and say, hey, you're all commission.
Sure.
So, I look to expand it in the future, but, it's a little bit hard, obviously, to get people to work at all nowadays,
right, yeah.
So yeah, that's where I see the company in 2 years.
All right. So I asked your girlfriend last week her personal question. I can't ask you the same one.
I was ready.
So now I'm going to go sports with you.
Okay.
You can go back in time and witness any sporting event that ever happened, and you can bring one person with you. What's the event that you want to go back and watch, and who do you want to bring?
This is it's a tough one. I would probably bring my dad back to the Broad Street Bully era.
Okay.
And probably see
74, 75 Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Dave Schultz beating people up.
Absolutely. Yup. Yeah. I think that would be amazing to witness.
That would be awesome.
I hear about that era all the time.
I watch it. I was like 2. You know, I kind of remember it happening, but I watch videos of it and I'm like, oh man, that would be so great. They just pounded people. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that'd be great. Awesome, Chris. Thank you so much for coming in. Chris Patterson, Patterson Solutions. We'll be right back with our next guest on Mr. Mortgage's Neighborhood.